How you doing today, folks? This is the review of the Benchmade Autocrat. Now, folks, YouTube has hit me with the great brass knuckles of social justice, and I am shadow banned. Less than 3% of non-subscribers see my content, so please like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. It's the only way we're going to grow going forward. I need your help, folks. I love you all. I appreciate you all. So again, please like, subscribe, and share. Now on to the video. Now, I am very much an OTF guy. I love the mechanisms, all of those crazy grinds, the look, the feel, and dare I say, just the overall style of it all. But with such fierce competition, how does the Benchmade Autocrat really stack up? That, my friends, we will find out together. The widely accepted gold standard of the OTF is a Microtech, primarily the Ultratech model. That model features thumb-destroying jimping and an overall pretty heavy pull. The effort required to retract as well as deploy Microtech knives sometimes can be extreme. And as such, that strange little black spot you see on my thumb is what's commonly referred to as Microtech thumb, and it is a very real thing. It is almost a badge of honor, something you earn. But if that doesn't appeal to you, then the Benchmade Autocrat just might. The switch on the Autocrat features very interesting blue G10 with nice mill lines, but there's none of that really heavy hard pull. And because of that, the overall deployment is much smoother, much simpler, and with much less of a Microtech thumb. As a result, the Autocrat deploys simply and reliably with very little effort, and is overall a much more enjoyable deployment and retraction. If you want that real hard firing, jarring feel, I would personally go with an Ultratech, because the Autocrat, to me, has the tactical gentleman in mind, so to speak. Like most OTFs, the Autocrat comes with a very interesting safety mechanism, which again will block the blade. And then to bring your Autocrat into working order, all you do, lock it out, back in business. It is a time-tested mechanism that works with almost all OTFs and is honestly a fantastic one. So if you're worried about this knife deploying in your pocket, honestly don't. The vast majority of OTFs are actually extremely safe to carry, and honestly in most cases safer than a folding knife. But unlike a folding knife, you get that beautiful snap. And for some folks, and mind you, I am some folks, a nice fidget-friendly experience. No matter how pretty or interesting a mechanism might be, this is a knife, and knives are designed to cut. Both edges from the factory come very sharp. It is usable, it is functional, though a double-edged blade definitely comes with some caveats, and you must respect it. First off, don't do what I've done many times, which is go to cut something, put your finger right there on the blade, and then pressure cut. You will gash yourself down to the bone, and it is not fun. Secondly, you lose quite a bit of utility with a double-edged blade. The dirk or dagger-shaped blade or double edge is primarily a fighting knife, and as such, you lose quite a bit of utility when you go this route. But you gain a cool factor and also a scare factor if you're into that. Now, the Autocrat features a G10 sandwich. While the majority of this knife is aluminum, the outer scales themselves are G10, which not only gives you a very interesting symmetrical look, it also gives you a little bit of grip and texturing during actual use and deployment. With an OTF, how you deploy it and how comfortably you're able to deploy the knife really is of paramount importance. And this one, again, everything just fits, it works, and it sits perfectly. Speaking of sits, this nice deep carry clip from Benchmade, this knife absolutely disappears in your pocket. It is an absolute joy to carry, though I will say with these relatively slick G10 scales, I have had this knife almost fall out on 2 separate occasions. It did not fall out, it stopped right about here, but it was still very close, and that is definitely concerning because this knife is not cheap. Now, this knife retails for $425 currently on BladeHQ.com. That is intense. Now, to be very clear, it is the black bladed version. This nice stone wash is actually discontinued. But again, $425 for S30V steel, aluminum, and G10. That is a tough pill to swallow. So even though I really like this knife and I really do genuinely enjoy it, I think it's beautiful and functional, for me, at $425, this is simply not worth it. And there are so many other options I would highly recommend over this knife, because S30V is good steel, but it is not great steel. And for this, you really want that great steel price. Also, the construction of the G10 and everything else is good, but it is, again, not great. There are little pieces here and there, honestly, be done a little bit better for that price tag. If this knife was $200, I would recommend it all day long. $300, it would be a stiff recommendation, but I would still recommend it. At $425, that puts it in some really crazy competition, and it just does not hold up in that price bracket. I really feel like Benchmade likes to shoot for the stars, but when you have a product that is lackluster, good but not great, more often than not, you don't even leave the atmosphere and you just crash down back to earth in a fiery explosion. And this knife, while beautiful, is an explosion at $425. I would not, by any stretch of the imagination, recommend this knife. Find this knife on sale for a heavy discount. If you find it on a secondary market, used and abused and loved. If you find this knife up for trade for a knife you don't like anyways, I really and genuinely enjoy this knife. So if you can find it for a bargain, I highly recommend it. At its current price tag, my score would be a 4 out of 10. Now, that is because, again, the price point is absurd, and it makes it to where I have to think about this knife in a much higher category than it actually deserves. If this knife was $200, I would give it a 9 out of 10, but it's not $200. Again, Benchmade shot for the stars, and instead they just crashed down to earth in spectacular fashion. Now, as always, folks, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your time, like, support, subscribes, your comments. They mean the absolute world to me. You all mean the absolute world to me. And this life right now is crazy, insane. So please do me just this one favor. Love each other. Find ways to forgive. Don't forget. But again, do everything you can to be the difference you want to see in the world. As always, folks, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. Take care, and bye.